Stick with us. Don't give up on us. Does that sound familiar? I think we've heard that before from Neal Brown. And we're going to talk about that in this episode of Couz's Corner, right after this word from our sponsor. Since 1931, the attorneys at Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner have been the voice for victims who have suffered serious injury or death. They have a fierce passion for truth and justice and a sincere compassion for those who have been wronged by others. Whether you have been in a car accident or fighting with an insurance company, or you or a loved one has suffered serious injury or death due to medical negligence, we will ensure your voice is heard loud and clear. Katz, Cantor, Stone Street, and Buckner will ensure there is justice for all West Virginians because we are your lawyer, your voice. Visit us at yourlawyeryourvoice.com. What is up? Welcome into another edition of Couz's Corner. Thank you for being here. Please belly yourself up to the bar and let me pour you out this shot of top-shelf college football content on tap today. We're talking about Neal Brown and his press conference from earlier in the week. Now, I wasn't going to do this video because I didn't want to feel like I was piling on. And I've been trying to stay positive, but it's been on my mind for the last 2 days, and I can't shake it. And I thought, you know what? I owe it to my listeners, to my viewers, to be real, to be honest, and to share my thoughts. And after this video, I plan on moving away from the Penn State game and moving on to Albany, and I already have that video on its way for you. And I'll be doing my Golden Blue Breakdown show with Jonathan tonight as well. And we'll be talking, and you'll have that to look forward to as well where we break down the Albany game. But I felt like it was important for me to bring this to you and give you my thoughts because I haven't heard anyone else talking about this. Jonathan and I have been talking a little bit off air about Neal Brown's comments about, stick with us, don't give up on us after just one game, yada, yada. And I didn't make much of it, but I got to thinking about 2022. We heard the exact same thing from Coach Brown after the Pitt loss. Remember that loss? The heartbreaking loss against Pitt that West Virginia should have won. Now, I'm not saying we should have won the Penn State game because Penn State is a lot better than what Pitt was that year. At least I think they are. They seem to be. I don't even think it's arguable, to be honest. But anyway, Penn State's a better team than what the Pitt team that West Virginia played in 22. So I'm not comparing the teams, but West Virginia fans were very excited. West Virginia fans were confident in that team that they'd come in and win. We had JT Daniels coming in at quarterback. We supposedly had a lot of talent. The staff, if you remember that offseason, the staff was talking about how talented the defensive backs were. I mean, there was just a lot of positivity around the program. Lo and behold, they lose that game. It spirals. They end up going 5-7 that year, not making a bowl game. And Coach Brown has even talked since about how they underachieved that year, that he felt like they should have been a much better team. Man, I can't help but shake this feeling that this feels that way. And I'm not sitting here predicting a 5-7 season. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying we should lose hope or confidence or stop supporting them or any of that stuff. And I'm definitely not saying anybody needs to be fired. I think that's ludicrous. But it's hard for me to get past that statement. And another thing, in Neal Brown's press conference earlier this week, this is the one thing I've not heard anybody talk about. Did anybody else notice his body language during that press conference? He seemed extremely nervous to me. He seemed concerned. He definitely didn't want to be there. That was obvious. Just did not seem like the same confident Neal Brown that we've seen all offseason. He rubbed his face a lot. He slouched down in his chair one time like that, which I found a little concerning because you just don't see Neal Brown do that in press conferences. And maybe I'm reading too much into it. And look, I'm no body language expert. I'm no psychologist or anything like that. But I just really noticed he just did not seem like the same guy. Is he concerned? Did he come out of that game concerned? Because if he's concerned, then we should probably be concerned, right? Is that fair? I know in my last video I said we don't need to hit the panic button, and I still believe that. I'm not panicking here. There's a difference between panic and concern. But I do think we need to really keep an eye on this team, see how they play against Albany. Do they come out and just absolutely dominate Albany? Let's hope they do. Let's hope they don't start slow. Let's hope they start fast and they pound Albany into the dirt. Sorry, Albany, but the Mountaineers need to take it out on you. And then how do they respond against Pitt in week 3? These next 2 games are critical, in my opinion, to decide, do we still trust the climb or do we not? So, the statement about sticking with us, I didn't really think a whole lot about that until I noticed the body language during the press conference. And then I'm kind of tying the 2 together. And I'm not going to lie, I was more concerned after watching that press conference than I was before. So, again, I'm not panicking necessarily. The world's, the sky's not falling. The sun will come up tomorrow. And I still think this team will be a good team. I predicted 8 wins. I'm sticking by that. But I'm telling you, Neal Brown's body language to me is something at least I'm not asking you to feel the same, but at least something I am concerned about, because I feel like he had just gotten out of practice. He had been studying film. If he's concerned, I'm concerned, and he looked concerned. But anyway, you let me know, am I reading too much into it? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please share this with your family and friends. Really want to get more people over here to Couz's Corner, get more subscribers here, try to get up to 10,000. I'm on my way to 10K. Also, shout out again to my sponsor, Katz, Kenner, Stone Street, and Burner. If you need a personal injury or medical malpractice attorney in West Virginia or Virginia, those are the folks you need to call. Go to yourlawyeryourvoice.com or call 304-999-HURT. Check them out today. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Shout out to my VIP channel members of this episode: Expedition Greg, Mick Stevens, WVU Mountaineer Lair with Kenny, and Joe Romano. Thank you all for your support of the channel, for being VIP members here. If you want to be a channel member, hit the join button below or hit the join button over on my channel homepage. And also, I have a merch store I don't promote enough. I've got t-shirts, hoodies, ball caps, multiple designs, multiple items. Go to couzescorner.com, COUZS corner, CORNER.com/shop. It'll bring you to the page there, and you can check out my merch store. Do that today, please. It's another way you can support me and also get yourself some cool merch. I appreciate you tuning into this episode. Have a top shelf rest of your day. And as always, don't forget to cue country roads.